4 KPIs are all you need to master a company's financial management. 3 are well known: ROCE, ROIC, and WACC. We've added a new one: GROCE, growth rate of capital employed. It forms the basis upon which the other 3 should be built. Let's take a look at all of this now. If you are unfamiliar with financial acronyms, we recommend our latest book available on Amazon. But let's get back to KPIs and start with the newcomer: GROCE, growth rate of capital employed. To do this, we will examine the balance sheet, but not in its accounting form, assets and liabilities, but in its financial form, capital employed and invested capital, which are like two sides of the same coin. All of this is explained in our video, The Balance Sheet. Thank you for watching, liking, and sharing it. The balance sheet, in its financial form, is broken down into invested capital, consisting of financial debt and equity, and employed capital, consisting of fixed assets, working capital requirement and cash on hand. Fixed assets and working capital requirement contribute to the company's performance. This is therefore called busy capital employed. Cash on hand is merely an intermediary that, most of the time, does not generate any revenue for the company. It is idle capital employed. A new term has emerged: working capital requirement. If this word seems enigmatic to you, we recommend reading, liking, and sharing our video, The Enigmatic Working Capital Requirement. In summary, the working capital requirement represents the expected cash flow resulting from the accumulation of inventory to cover sales, as well as customer and supplier payment terms. It is equal to the value of inventory plus accounts receivable and minus accounts payable. This is the water that is in the pump pipes before it flows into the fountain. The working capital requirement fluctuates around a pivot point determined by the company's sales and purchasing cycle. Furthermore, this average value is not fixed, it varies according to sales volume. The higher the sales volume, the higher the pivot point. In conclusion, we can assume that, with constant payment terms, the growth in working capital requirement is equal to the growth in sales. If you have a fear of mathematics, don't look at this image and go directly to the next one to get a numerical example. For everyone else, you can read the mathematical demonstration. Since busy capital employed is composed of two elements, fixed assets and working capital requirement, the growth of busy capital employed, GROCE, is the average of the growth rates of each of the two elements, weighted by their proportion in busy capital employed. In this numerical example, the busy capital employed is broken down into 48% for working capital requirement and 52% for fixed assets. As sales volume increases by 10%, the share of working capital requirement in the busy capital employed increases by 48% times 10%, or 4.8%. For fixed assets, their share increases by 52% times 5%, or 2.6%. Overall, the gross is 4.8% plus 2.6% equals plus 7.4%. And now, let's address the first crucial point of this video: free cash flow, which is one of the most important elements in financial management, is explained by the percentage difference between two KPIs, GROCE, which we have just seen, and ROCE, which we will now describe. ROCE, return on capital employed, is a key performance indicator that measures the efficiency of the operations of companies' capital employed. It compares the net operating profit after tax, NOPAT, calculated in the income statement, to the value of available busy capital employed, shown in the balance sheet. If we embed in the balance sheet the movements corresponding to performance, NOPAT, which increases the equity of invested capital, and to the growth of busy employed capital, GROCE, we create a cash flow at the level of the idle employed capital. This cash flow, which appears in the absence of any other financial operation such as a repayment of financial debt, a capital increase, or a dividend payment, is called free cash flow. Here is the mathematical demonstration for those who do not have a phobia. Here's the crucial point: free cash flow is generated by the spread between ROCE and GROCE. Free cash flow will be positive if ROCE is greater than GROCE. Its amount is equal to the spread between the two indicators multiplied by the amount of available busy employed capital. This is a first step, and please stay until the end of this video as other financial elements are revealed to be generated by the gap between two indicators. Let's analyze another aspect of NOPAT generated by the capital employed. This capital has a cost because it is financed by invested capital, that is, by equity and financial debt. This cost is expressed by a rate called WACC, or weighted average cost of capital. The WACC is the weighted average of the after-tax borrowing rate on financial debt and the rate required by shareholders for the release of their capital. Indeed, equity is not for free. According to the aphorism "big pain, big gain," an investor expects a return commensurate with the risk they take when buying a stock. In the 1960s, various models, such as the capital asset pricing model, were developed to evaluate the expected rate of return of a stock based on the return of a risk-free asset and the return of a diversified equity market. In this example, financial debt represents 40% of the invested capital, and therefore equity accounts for 60%. The interest rate on financial debt is 4% after tax, while the expected return for shareholders is 10%. In the WACC, the rate attributable to financial debt is 40% times 4% equals 1.6%, while the rate attributable to equity is 60% times 10% equals 6%. This results in a WACC value of 1.6% plus 6% equals 7.6%. Economic value added, EVA, is an indicator that measures the net profit from a company's operations, NOPAT, after deducting the cost of invested capital. It is calculated using the formula EVA equals NOPAT WACC times IC. Let's do a little math. Let's take the EVA formula and divide both terms of the equation by the amount of invested capital, IC. This reveals a new performance indicator, ROIC, which stands for return on invested capital. EVA then appears as the result of the gap between ROIC and WACC. Let's do a little math. Let's take the EVA formula and divide both terms of the equation by the amount of invested capital, IC. This reveals a new performance indicator, ROIC, which stands for return on invested capital. EVA then appears as the result of the gap between ROIC and WACC. Two performance-related indicators were highlighted, ROCE and ROIC. Their difference is significant because it reveals the amount of idle capital employed. As its name suggests, this residual employed capital generates little to no return, so it is necessary to reduce it. We have just defined 4 KPIs. 3 gaps between them have highlighted free cash flow, economic value added, and the amount of idle capital employed. Let's finish with one last spread, the one between WACC and GROCE, which allows us to calculate the intrinsic value of the company. There are many methods for valuing a company. The intrinsic method is based on the free cash flows generated over a period of time, plus a terminal value, TVN. These cash flows are discounted at the WACC rate. This calculation is performed using figures provided by actual and projected financial statements. To simplify, these flows are assumed to be constantly increasing, along with the growth of employed capital, GROCE, over an infinite period, thus avoiding the need to calculate the terminal value. For those who are averse to math, the important point to remember is that the intrinsic method's denominator depends on the spread between WACC and GROCE. And now we come to the fundamental part of this video: how to rank the 4 KPIs and what the effective spreads are that will ensure optimal financial management for your business. Thank you for supporting us by subscribing, clicking the thumbs up, and sharing this video. The 4 KPIs will allow us to analyze the 3 dimensions of a company's financial strategy: performance through economic value added, free cash flow, and intrinsic value. 2 KPIs are returns, and they are linked by idle capital employed, which means that ROCE is always greater than or equal to ROIC. WACC is a cost, so it must necessarily be lower than ROIC, and therefore ROCE, in order to provide economic value, a key performance factor. GROCE must be lower than ROCE to generate positive free cash flow, but also lower than WACC, to avoid an impossible intrinsic value. Thus, GROCE acts as the conductor, dictating the ranking of the other 3 KPIs to fulfill the 3 objectives of corporate finance: performance, value, and cash flow. And here are the 4 rules that maximize the company's financial management. Rule number 1: ROCE must be above GROCE and as far away as possible to create adequate free cash flow. Rule number 2: ROIC must be above WACC and as far away as possible to add the necessary economic value. Rule number 3: ROIC should be as close as possible to ROCE to avoid maintaining too large a residual cash position. Rule number 4: WACC is necessarily higher than GROCE. Since GROCE is the conductor, this means that WACC is undervalued. WACC being the weighted average of the cost of financial debt and the cost of equity, it is the latter that has been undervalued, and therefore the risk expected by shareholders. These 4 key performance indicators not only allow us to track a company's growth without waiting for the publication of financial statements, but they are the necessary tools to simulate different scenarios and, in particular, to anticipate threats. These 4 key performance indicators not only allow us to track a company's growth without waiting for the publication of financial statements, but they are the necessary tools to simulate different scenarios and, in particular, to anticipate threats. Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and a like. Would you like to see more videos on corporate finance and accounting? Please leave us a comment with your suggestions.